we've seen a lot of this waylay play in Road, for example. We haven't seen it as much, to be honest, on this map of Lotus, especially because Akamon was playing on this Neon instead with his double duelist with Spirits that is constantly on this Yoru. So
yeah, that's the thing. They had a huge rise at the beginning of the year, and like many a super team, had a pretty big fall off as well. Now it's whether or not there's a bounce back. Early contact already being taken by DRG. A solid start, hot flash of dreams from Spirit Z1. And while they're already falling back off of it, they love these aggressive starts. They love these front-forward plays. Well, Flexin hasn't fallen all the way back. That's going to give an opportunity. DH with a response. Meteor had a chance, but isn't going to be able to capitalize. It's risky.
Yeah, Spirit Z1 took a risk. It almost paid off as well. DH down to 17 HP, but he gets that deep control towards spawn. It could allow a plant, but in fact, it's going to be a full rotation from T1, using their opponent's spawn to wrap around. But where's the target? One player towards the B site, taken down. DH leaves Stacks all alone. A 1 versus 5 for the Fade. And DRG not looking to split too much. We'll see them retake this together. And I love this composition. I think we saw it yesterday as well, just how powerful the Waylay alongside the Yoru can be. And for DRG, that's only going to enable them to double down on what we've already talked about in that aggressive playstyle.
Do you not believe in the Stacks clutch? Talking about comps. This man in a 1 versus 4. And you were right. Maybe you were right. Yeah, no, that was with me. If he gets the first one, I'm a bit more of a believer, but that wasn't very clean.
Carry on, 1v3.
Nah. That first one, if he hits that instantly, I'm in. The second it was like 4 bullets, I'm out. Vukashu a lot of the time is on an island, so you have a guy that maybe can't communicate quite as well with the rest of the team. That's fine. He's going to be an anchor player, as you can see right now.
Full aggression from DRG as expected. It's a bloodbath to start with. Only the first falling from Akamon, but Flexin follows. Nick trying to recover. Stands his ground, Nick! The triple! That's given them a real chance, but the players left only have pistols. Retrieving the weapon is deadly, and Demon 1 versus 2. Buzz low. He's got a chance. A great start to the map already, but this would be something else, and they know exactly where he is. A ghost in hand and a full HP Meteor if he swung that door.
He's done that on purpose, though. He knew he'd be giving the game away. He heard the player taking the orb, and it was almost just bait that I'm going to break this, but then I'm going to retreat back and make you start to question where I've gone. And that's exactly what's happened. Buzz currently keeping an eye back towards mid. Sneaks his way past, but Buzz is just tucked in on the corner. Meteor, normally a safe pair of hands, but the information hasn't yet been garnered on where Demon 1 is going. The problem is Buzz, in the meantime, is wrapping back around. So many angles to clear, would have to check his back. He's going to. He's checked the right angle. Puts it into a 1 versus 1 scenario, but the time has been ticking, and Meteor is just patiently waiting. The timing should work out for him as well. It's a nice attempt, but it's T1 now on the board.
Oh, one hell of a try. And there you're getting to see the caliber of Demon 1, a player who we've seen lift that trophy, and for good reason. But this time around, it's too much to ask. Hell of a hold from Nick, though. They were losing players left, right, and center, and he just comes out, Prowler into a double headshot, and he'd already taken down Izu. And regardless of how this one could have been DRG's, coming into the next, if they full invest, they're putting all their credits on the line, and there you go, it's full rifles.
Oh, it's going to be this early fight once again. Already being open, Paranoia had to be used almost immediately, and with the smoke down it would be risky, but Akaman's gone down elsewhere. An early fight that has worked out for the side of T1. They are facing off against this early brawl, and for the second time it looks like they're coming out on top.
Take a look at that space taken as we got on board with Meteor. He's on the wrap as they go towards the B site. Deep control up towards heaven as Isu takes another flex and going through the doors out of the round. This was the chance for DRG to break that economy of T1, but T1, they're not letting anything slip. Fighting tooth and nail, every duel going their way, till it's Nick and Demon 1. An ult online early for Demon 1. Nick not far away, but committing them, even committing the rifles into this round from this point forward seems like a mistake, and they have called for the save already. The objective now just to carry these weapons forward, give them a chance, and after what was a shaky round 3, this is a great course correction for T1's economy.
Yeah, I think you're always going to have to keep an eye on Meteor in matches like this. You're talking about an MVP player Of course, the recent memory will put someone like Forsaken, of course, but Meteor is an incredibly tough player to play against. It's seeming, though, like Nick has woken up on the right side of the bed. Aim has been clean. He's made this one a bit more costly, but still going to be taken out by Stacks. And although it's a round that is a little bit more damaging after how it started for T1, they're not going to mind because they removed every single gun.
Deep play by Izu is going to get a lot of information. This space wide open, not being fought for. There's the solo site defender spotted, pressured as well, and Izu shuts Demon One down. The A site open for business. And DRG forced into the retake. At least they'll have that Rolling Thunder to work with, but Meteor is going to be a snake in the grass.
Yeah, this is a nasty position that they need to clear. Nobody coming in from behind. It would just be this firefight. First one goes his way, but the trade is there quick enough.
Face your fear.
Plenty of ultimates to play with either side, and in fact, T1 will be the first to throw. They're going to put in that ult to try and slow them down. Rolling Thunder on the other side. Convergence path was being set up, but not yet thrown in. Still held, at least for now, but they need to start finding these kills. Buzz with another. Izu one more. And while he might have used his ult, but he'll get one more or back towards it. Nick falls. And that was a very clean round from T1. Much cleaner than any we've seen so far.
Well, in almost every round, DRG have been fighting for that A main space, right? They've been pushing up deep. Even in the round where they had pistols, the Sheriff ended up.
He's been a one-side anchor. The second he was down, it was a very easy take. This round, you're up against pistols, but it's also just the sheer pace at which T1 are reacting. Confident calls coming out of Stacks. And when he's in flow state, it feels like the rest of the team go with him.
Flexen's fallen early towards that door. It's been a death sentence. The dash used to get back out of that A choke point, and T1 with the early fight towards A main. They're not intending to hit here. Noise made with the door open as Izu tries to distract, puts the decoy through, but the rest of the squad making their way into Demon One's den. This time, the Vice wall towards B. And although Izu falls and Meteor, they still have this C hit to rely on. The Thorns are going to divide up the troops a little bit, buy some time, maybe buy a 1v1 for Demon One, but he backs out as Spirit C1 goes through. The trade, at least, DRG holding on to the advantage.
Well, there's the Steel Garden. Weaponry removed, but it's how fast they can actually get in to deal with this. Immediately, Buzz is going to activate the overdrive. Not affected by that ultimate. Now they have the guns with a convergence path. They're going to trap each other in the corner. It needs to be an instant headshot, and well, it is, but not for the side of T1. Ultimates committed. And
it ends up pretty much securing them alongside Akaman's committal. 5-3, but that's a round where they have ults to respond after side is taken. Now we'll get to see what happens when they don't, and when the Steel Garden's online for Meteor as well.
Again, early control. Buzz been taking this space at a perfect horn thrown through. It makes things so easy. Spirit C1's found two, though. Oh, it's just running through. He manages to get a third. A huge round from him individually. Well, the man we've mentioned, that Bangkok MVP, might just get to show us why.
He's got two players playing contact off that first. Flexen takes him down, and if he didn't, it would have to be a lightning fast adjustment onto Nick. 5.
Now there is going to be this time the sheer ready and waiting, and that will leave Buzz. I was going to say isolated, but luckily DH got ahead of it.
Yeah, two players in, enough of the angles covered. Door almost broken, Buzz in the corner. Akaman's got a decision ahead of him, and now the information is there. Spirit C1. Door is broken for him. He goes back to play with his teammate. Two on that angle. Buzz needs to be patient. Dodges the foe. Doesn't dodge the flash. He eats it. And Akaman and Spirit feed him some bullets alongside. Stacks. He'll only get himself the double. Damn good hold, but it's Demon One back in there behind to take the 5-5 scoreline. Neck and neck.
And then they just get swarmed on, not having that control anymore. His position was so much more valuable than the fight that was taken. And while from a 5-2 lead and things looking pretty bad for DRG, it's again.
Oh, man.
Flexen's cursed.
Flexen's been having a really tough time, but that kill I can't even fault him for. Buzz is in there, spraying down Nick. The spray and slide. Okay, we're right back to T1 with dominant rounds. They've given DRG a little bit of slack, but oh, hold on, Spirit C1. We've seen this before. Only the one damage onto Stacks, but It's not going to make it too easy for Demon One. Look at the economy. Ackerman could need a drop in the next round, and I think the thought will be to carry this weapon through rather than throw it away on a 1 versus 4. The other problem is there's lots of ultimates for T1, and having those online, if you could bait some out here, would be incredibly valuable. But again, it's just a risk-reward that DRG and Demon One are facing.
He just had the read on where that player has been for a few rounds and gets him with the spam. But you could just see the level of confidence that Buzz is playing with right now, and well, it almost feels like a, I'm not losing this half, I'll win this one myself sort of vibe.
Yeah, that could be it. And hit with the Joker Serum. 1 round left to play for. Deep play from Izu. But he's wrapping around on B. Spirit C1's going to be dropped in the B side, seen to be wide open. Across this wall together. Early on, though, Ackerman thinking about getting aggressive, but pushed back by the Fade Ultimate, standing on the edge of the smoke, thinking about coming through, and he does, just to refract as Demon One loses in the 1-to-1 trade. They might think C is wide open now. The adjustment being made by T1. They'll close in, and with DH, he's heard the TP. He's got the timing, and it's a free pick back to a 2v2.
That's such an important kill. The youngster from the T1 Academy who has started to light up the world just as many young players from Pacific have done. But now he sits alongside and he's given the info over. Buzz now knows that they are sat at the back, but it's whether or not they're expecting this Rolling Thunder to come through. It doesn't seem like he's going to pop the ult, but he's already been wrecked. It's left onto DH and they know exactly where he is. Needs to try and deliver the clutch, and he has managed to put it back into the 1 versus 1. The swing coming out from Nick, who's been so good, but playing with his food, just trying to bait him into these fights, and DH will take it! Handing them the L with the Red Bull clutch.
Alongside the Yoru. How they use it, well, that's very much up to them. One thing I'm looking forward to is Flexen having a bit less pressure towards A-main.
Yeah.
He was being picked off so often through smokes, getting hit by those stacks reveals as well.
He's set up right outside A-main.
It's making me worried. Getting nervous.
Although saying that, on the other side of things, it's only Izu who's going to go peeking, and that didn't, I'll be honest with you, it didn't seem like the play. It was just, I assume he had a way out of there. I was hoping to. Demon One, alive and well it seems, but he will be dealt with by DH. The problem, for T1 at least, is that that A site has fallen.
Yeah, we're talking about double the numbers now. For DRG, they've got the man advantage and then some. They've got the plant, they've got time ticking away on their side. Meteor, if he came through that smoke, 2 players holding him. Has to cover his bases and clear out the rest. DH, this paranoia is good. It's going to catch a player up close. What a shot! Ackerman dropped, but time. He's bought a little bit of it with that stun. And now the spike is really starting to tick fast. They need to make a move. Meteor and DH. It's Meteor through the door to be shut down. The trade was possible and it won't be needed with Nick landing that shot to close out the pistol. From what we've seen.
Yeah,
7 to 7.
11 times.
DRG tying it up. Decent round in the previous. Good economy. Izu playing aggressive. He'll grab himself the first. Sticks around after the flash. He sticks around a bit too long. The punish is there. T1 start to shift towards this side of the map.
He seems to be allergic to his gate crash. Like most of the time, you're going to see a Yoru go out, get a kill, and escape. Especially when your teammate has fallen back. And well, they've even lost some of their utility on the B side, that they have to be a lot more careful.
It's a very important piece of utility. Questions in the back of the minds of DRG. There's the gate crash taken for Spirit Z1. In the smoke early, got ahead of Stacks, but doesn't catch Meteor coming out. It's down to a 2v2 with Nick's trade. The spike still needs to be planted, but they've got 30 seconds to do so. I believe it's down below, so a little bit of a reroute from Demon One, but those Thorns should buy them time. Pressure's on Nick when they fade. 2 players coming his way, and it'll be Buzz sliding through again. It's tough to track this man. The flash set up. Demon One in another clutch, and even blinded, he'll find the first. But Buzz, the savior of this round for T1. It's close, but they'll maintain their lead.
Playing against Buzz's Neon is just a nightmare. Like the movement that he has.
And confirms that there was a heavier stack on that side of the map, but after T1 re-cleared the space, they're on the rotate. Moving towards this A site where Meteor was left to solo hold, where they were giving up control towards the tree, but now they'll be 3-man stacked up But they're not here ahead of the push, and Izu goes down alongside Stacks. Ackerman was third. And T1, they had to rotate. They were here a little bit late, but now they're out of the round. This might have to be a save.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot of what we saw in the defensive half was Ackerman being a one and done. Like, he'd fly in, get a kill, die, and that would be it. Not this round. He's now put himself up right near the top of the board, but there's a lot of contention for that on the DRG side. So many top-level performers for this squad. And I said the danger for T1. The only player surviving in the last round was Buzz.
Correct myself. Shout out to Ty, our third-person observer, for this matchup here.
Oh,
always does a great job.
They've headbutted each other.
He's already come in, smacked the player straight in the head, but not with the rifle. Izu down, but DH is delivering. He's found himself a triple before eventually falling. Stacks was there, but Demon One deals with him. A shaky start for T1. DH put them right back on winning track, but now it's Meteor, a man who's received his MVP, his acknowledgement on the international scene. Well, he has to take down one of the best at a time.
No, that TP was so risky.
Giving it away. Demon One against Meteor for the round, for the 10th round for DRG. A nail in the coffin if they lose this for T1. And time being bought, Demon One can reposition, but now Meteor's gonna do the same and there's no escape. Demon One caught by the ultimate, down to the Sheriff, but he's got the positional advantage. Meteor out of the round. T1 down by 2.
Spirit C1 gave me an absolute heart attack there. Clears so many different positions around the A site, but then gambles on his gate crash. And that gamble was definitely not worth it. Almost handed the round over. DH at the beginning, it feels like a lifetime ago, the amount of work that he was able to do.
Could very well be the end of T1 if they lose this round, at least in this map. Their pick Sunset up next, so it's not all dire signs. It is definitely a time to be worried if you're from Pacific. Full clearance of this site with Ackerman, but a big shutdown. T1 playing outside of it, setting the trap and springing it just on time. Nick with a double makes this look a bit more doable. The op of Izu on the way, but still miles away. Buzz injects himself onto the site. A chance for him to be isolated, but now the rotates are here. Now the ult's in play. Buzz's swing is perfect. Izu's clearing everything, and they will find this round a much-needed win for T1.
Yeah, I am surprised, though, with that advantage that we see both the Nightfall. He has been their best player, and I think maybe you can make an argument for Buzz. I don't think you can make an argument for anyone else.
Oh, Ackerman. He's taking the space yet again. He could fall back, but he doesn't need to. Spirit C1's alongside him. Full control of B site, but it looks like T1 want to fight for it. A delay towards Hobbit. They'll have to wait a moment now with that stun landing, and that's going to get the plant out for DRG. Man advantage for the attackers, but that fades quickly. Nice shot by Izu. Here comes DH and Meteor. The full wrath of T1 unleashed, and no one standing but Nick. 3 more. He's already got 2, but that off is holding tight on the angle. Another round. But eventually they will group up. They had Demon One waiting outside of A, but the C site, this is where the hit's coming through. Stun, it's perfect. The TP used, but it doesn't get DH to safety. Spirit C1 still able to pick him up. And now they've got control over C, but it's being fought for. Meteor stepped through the smoke. In comes Buzz. The stun landed, but Ackerman gets ahead of it. Flexing from up top. And DRG in a 5v1 all of a sudden. A lot of talk about Izu's operator. How it started to put him on the board.
Much more deep commitment for T1. What we saw in their last C-site hold was they were both sat back, waiting, one holding onto the cross to try and fight anybody as they dived in. I think DH gets caught there. Like, they use the dimensional drift, spot him, hit him with the stun, and there's no real way out. Izu, he's surely dead. No way he comes out of that one alive, but at least manages the one. And this leaves them in quite a bit of trouble. I think both.
And yeah, you know, you got rid of the Rolling Thunder. Dimensional drift from Spirit Z1, fantastic. DRG don't have as much of a punch to pack in this round in terms of those safety nets, but Let's see what T1 can do with this mixed bag. Izu's got one. Buzz on the bucky finds another in this round. Off to a flying start for T1. We thought they'd look weaker, but somehow it's like the cleanest start they've had.
Yeah, it started so weird. Ackerman flying over most of his enemies and then getting caught out, surprised by Izu. A pretty hefty upgrade as well for Buzz. Nick, he's as optimistic. With the spike down, a 1v5. I think you'd need the Devil himself to show up to be able to eliminate the rest of these players. I don't think it's going to be happening. And even just damage here might help them out a bit. Instead, though, it's a flawless round. Buzz there to close it, and when T1 looked like they were dead and buried, they find a round.
They fight on an even playing field against DRG for the final round of regulation. Overtime possible. For DRG, they're competing for their organization's first win on the international stage. Losing this, it'll be much harder.
Oh, already a solid start. Buzz has been dealt with. Stax and Meteor, though, fight back in turn. Stax wanting to get back in there, but he's got to be careful. Low HP. Demon 1 being revealed. Only has the shorty to play with, but now he gets his own. Looks to take him back. Izu, though, is fought in form. They have matched each other man for man. Even still, though.
Demon 1 had spike.
Yeah, look at the position of the spike, getting it back. Is he going to be able to block this? No, it takes more than one to do so, so that's at least the spike back into their hands. I am looking, however, at DH. He's making that read early that this team might just try a move for the A site.
Thing is, though, they're in this 3v2. Playing the retake could have a lot of value. For DH, he has to be very selective about where and when he fights.
30
already
seconds left.
Drop down towards the A site. DRG, they might go to C, though. Making their mind up as we speak. They know they've already taken out the Vice on the other side with Meteor's utility gone, but it will be the A side that's the ultimate target. A sneaky play here from DH, but it all comes down to timing. Nick is walking up on him, but they've decided to leave him. 10 seconds. The plan has to be secured. DH, if he can just drop this spike, it could all be over here, and it's a little late. The spike gets planted, but Nick is left alone. If he doesn't find this pick, they will overwhelm him with numbers, and DH slips away to the tree. Nick against the world. He's had so many big plays. The decoy reveals him. And the double! He collapsed it, but in the end, it's DH. They had the lead. They had the chance to close it. But now T1 could be right back to winning ways. On the attack side, our T1. But look at this stack up from DRG. There's 4 players here. Previously, we've seen them fight tooth and nail for A, and T1 have been keen to take that space when it's given. But now it's a trap that's sprung. Flex him through the door, grabs one before falling. The numbers even. But it's Nick with the pressure on his shoulders again. This time he delivers, but the slide in from Buzz. Punished for the 2 versus 1. DH reads that that's the decoy. He might have to jump on Spirit Z1. A 3rd kill. And the TP taken to the other side of the map. A plant and a 1v1. How many clutches has Demon 1 be in? But this one, the most important of all.
TP up top. They open the door. So Demon 1 has tried to bait the idea that he is coming from this position, but I feel like it's going to take him so long to go all the way back around. And once that smoke fades, DH will have the idea that this man is no longer in position. In fact, it's such an obscure angle. I don't even know if Demon 1 will expect this at all. And the problem is now that clock is starting to tick, the doubt starting to be in his mind. DH has played it to perfection again. Where have they found this man? A Red Bull clutch to give T1 a shot at map victory. He is dragging players like Meteor, Buzz, Stax, Izu, people who've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, to potentially the first map, but boy, might just have to do it again. Buzz, within the first seconds of the round, is dead.
Ackerman's been so impressive in those opening duels, dashing in. We've seen him do it not that many rounds ago when DRG were on the attack.
Cover going out.
But with that, it looks like they'll still commit to this A site. Demon 1 holding the flank. This could be a mistake. There's so many players here. Stacks traded out. DH going to burn the paranoia just to deny the space. Slow them down.
Well, look at the rotation. Everybody's already here.
Do they call for the rotate back? It looks like they will, but the Ops now in position. Holding that cross. Flexen's got him. Finding strength in the scars he's been dealt on A main. But they'll still move towards this site. And the numbers are still here for T1. At least they were.
Yeah. Well, maybe the only one that really matters is still here. He would basically win them overtime if he can somehow hold on to this 35 seconds and decisions are there to be made. Meteor has left his team. I'm surprised they're splitting up. I'm surprised that's the decision. And while this time DH can't save them, Ackerman will put him in the dirt and Meteor so far away. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think the best case they had was to try and fight it as 2. Now he has to find a 1v4.
There's chances. Now that he's being spotted, looking pretty bad. There goes the ultimate on him. Ooh. Okay, Ackerman will fall, but the spam's through the wall. Even us up to 13-13. Another overtime needed. Expecting the same here. And although Izu stuck around, he has that gate crash used early this time. Won't make the mistake he did in regulation of giving them the picks. Now Thorns slow this push down. Give a chance for the rotations. Demon 1 won't fall for that spot again. But now they're closing in the distance. Well played to find the first. Spirit C1 from the back lines, delivering again. And a 3 versus 2. The defensive round looking likely, but with Ackerman down, we're back to a 2v2, and T1 have got a plant.
Putting themselves in a position to turn this round on its head, have another chance at claiming the victory on their opponent's choice, but Flexen and Nick have an opportunity. The flash is going to slow them down even more. The aftershock not quite finding anything, but even still, it has cleared an angle, it has checked the spot, but that time is ticking. They need to get a move on. First contact in, Izu gets one, and it is close. But Meteor will make sure that they're the ones that get another chance at victory. Looking like it might be slightly different though. You've got Izu set up outside of B. He's got that operator in hand and they will take that control, but the second they take it, Stax is immediately back to go and support the other side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, the honk goes up and no utility as a response. Nobody's seen. It's now time to reinforce this C site, but it might be too late by the time he gets there. They're already teeing up for the push. DRG straight in, Meteor under pressure, he's surrounded, Stax comes in to help and finds the first, lands another! Stax keeps delivering! And he might have delivered them the win! Nick, on a sliver of health, has to stand off against the op, and even then, even the classic can take him down! 15 to 13, T1 climb back!
This feels like they've just slotted him exactly into the plans that they wanted to have prior.
They've done the swap again. It's Izu, Yoru, and Buzz Neon. You like this?
Stretch the imagination, he came in trying to change it either. Cypher definitely can be tougher on that hole, but at least for now, it's going to be DH continuing how he did on the last map. A fantastic individual performance. And well, a recovery already needed in this pistol. It is a firing squad with DH leading the scoreboard already. And while Buzz is there to close it out, a pistol round for T1. I think he's hit 0 shots.
Yes, they were mostly through the smoke, so
Warning
I'll give him that credit. But it certainly scared DRG away. They grabbed the orb and moved towards middle. This is all classics, nothing upgraded.
There we go.
You really don't expect to see a lot of contest. Meteor good for 2 at least. The player spotted crossing with a jump scare from Buzz. And they're losing a few, but that's a pistol. Okay, now I'm getting worried. Now I'm getting really worried. And they know where DH is as well. This man's been so reliable, but an early response like this from DRG, this could really
there we go.
disrupt the rhythm. A rifle, but only 30 HP, Tom. He's got to get the jump on DH.
Will do it, that's the thing. DH has light shield, so a single bullet to the face would be enough to win the round. Now, he believes that he has baited
30 seconds left.
DH, but DH has just sat at the bottom of middle. bottom of middle. He's waiting on this fight, and it gets a little bit scary. But that youngster is the safe pair of hands again. He's looking to try and get the rifle, and he will find it.
But again, they have to invest
Look at
fully.
this round. Oh, it's a singular rifle being put into the hands of Buzz. The rest really isn't much, but well, if Buzz is playing like this, maybe it won't matter. This is a terrible bonus round coming in from T1, but somehow it's working. They came in with a singular rifle, I think a stinger and a few pistols.
Yep.
And now Demon One has to try and save DRG from, I want to say, embarrassment.
Now, this is not a round they should be losing. But Demon One in a 1v3. 2 players on that angle. Spike secured as well. He's got all the info to work with now at least, but what is that going to do for him? And I love this positioning as well. Look how spread out they are. Buzz to take contact on his right, and then a big swing from Izu. He's tucked in though. He set himself up for success, Demon One did, but Buzz, the one to carry this round. This round, light shields across the board. Easy with the outlaw.
A lot of stingers though.
Yeah, they've got to get close. That's the real problem. Those shots don't land. But the gate crash is used to get out of dodge before. That's a little too scary. Now, those stingers are nice and close. All of these fights look maybe even favorable for them. T1 have to group, take these fights together. It's Izu looking for some on his own, but around that laneway, when they come to push back in, that's where DRG really pack a punch, not just on close range, but with the numbers by their side as well. Flexen picks up a double. Spirit Z1 there as well. This could be DRG's round. A return. A MasterCard Thrifty as they put one on the board on their weaker round. Already has that dimensional drift, and on the attack side, that's probably going to be used here to clear up all this space and maybe stop Izu from having the impact with the operator. He's on the angle, waiting for his chance to strike, and there it is. The gate crash back to safety. But Spirit Z1, he's got the sight for them.
Yeah, just clearing out any risky angles will allow the rest of the team to run through clean, although saying that, Meteor's managed to find one on the cross. I think that's Demon One trying to jump around the edge, and instead, another solid paranoia thrown through to give Buzz a little bit more. The TP to the other side, it leaves Nick, but he's done well. He's managed to make this one look interesting. Flex implants on the other side of the map, and now has a 1 versus 2 to play with.
Well, Flexen's first half on Lotus was a disaster class. It was picked off in aim A, and it felt like in every round. But here's his chance. He certainly warmed up in the second. Now carry through that momentum to a 1 versus 2. He's got Izu and DH, 2 big players for T1. The operator swapped out. It is just the rifle, but Flexen isolates one. 10 bullets left, but time ticking. Playing inside his smoke. He can challenge as soon as it's tapped, but Izu! He expected it! Lands the shot with plenty of time. I think he's putting the gate crash through to Demon One and Spirit Z1, the carriers of the heavy weaponry. And this will be, again, a round where DRG move together. And so, still going to be disrupted by Izu. And nasty angle in mid. That's Ackerman down. And especially in a round like this, Tom, especially with a stinger, seeing him slide in and get up close, close that distance, gain you space, you really want your Neon for a round like this. Huge pick from Izu. And he keeps the control on mid as well. That gate crash, not even that close to fading, so he can stick around for quite a while.
They've not been able to clear him either. So he's still going to have this very fast flank, and because of that, they have a very good idea that there hasn't been a rotation. 3 players still committed to this B side of the map as they look to try and make their way through.
Oh, a missed shot by DH though. That's given them an opportunity on DRG. When they got the plant, that's where things changed with stingers in hand. This time it's beforehand. When Flexen goes diving into market, they've got good control, and Demon One lands his shot on backside. Stax might have to back off. He's sticking around. He's getting up close, and he'll get the jump on Flexen, but the correction for Demon One isn't there. Meteor alone, and Nick will put him in the grave. They really are better when these weaker weapons come out as second. Yeah, those are the rounds that, you've already done the hard work. Then it's just about converting your advantage, doubling down on it. Aggressive play, Flexen under pressure. Stax already wrapping around, and Flexen won't escape. the wall bang to connect the pick and get a rifle. For the T1 side, it's the only one they have to work with. Look at DRG, they're walking into the spawn. They're taking a very deep fight. Meteor will contain them at least alongside Buzz. It's all about avoiding that rifle for them.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they go into A, they're actually going to plant for backside. I don't mind this, but it does mean that they're almost completely surrounded. Stax is actually going to try and utilize the Hunter's Fury, and the rest of them, while this is going on, are putting the pressure onto Spirit Z1. They keep the advantage, and Izu is now the one that's been given that rifle. It's whether or not they can retrieve the other. Doesn't seem like it. They're going to split back in the other direction, try and group up as DH still creates the illusion that there's a player here. And in the meantime, Izu goes walkabouts. Now they have the dimensional drift. They can find everyone else.
That drops the rifle over as well. Picks up another as he's running around the site. Ackerman and Nick have their work cut out for them. Ackerman good for the first, and the trade out makes it possible. But Meteor's classic is what takes them across the line.
This game is weird.
Course correction from T1, but
Thrifty.
I don't know what is going to happen next here. As a MasterCard Thrifty won out by...
I guess an even better spot, but they're up against Stingers again, so who the hell knows?
Well, we've seen it with 4, we've seen it with 2.
These are warning shots. He's spraying the Stinger. He's like, now they know I'm coming.
Well, they certainly do. All that utility fired through, but Spirit Z1 the first of all flexing again. But Stack steps up. A 3 versus 2 that they find themselves in. The TP to backside for early control, and it might not even be needed. Demon 1 all alone. Last time, he had a pretty hefty disadvantage, but this 1v3, a Guardian in hand. And a good idea of where this player is. He is checking this left corner. TH needs to be quick on the trigger, and he will be shut down. The spike, though, is not in a good position. With no cage left to cover the cross, that off could... What? A jump shot with the Guardian. That's one hell of an attempt. Now he knows that that op is on the other side, but hitting this shot will be difficult. Uses the cam to bait him out, and he's done so successfully, but he can't land the shot, and the stun sends him running back. The classic round the corner. That's a risky play. They've given Demon 1 a chance, and he may land this shot, but it's 1 bullet in the mag. Not enough as Buzz lands his, and 6-2 on the board. Again, though, well, this should be the easier, as you said, Tom, for DRG to put the pieces together with the stand-in. So far, they have yet to win a rifle round, and now is their chance to right that wrong. Ackerman back to winning ways in those early fights. Paranoia sent through, but that doesn't stop them as Demon 1 picks up another, and another stacks down, but DH in the corner has a beat spot. DH, he'll only get 2. Demon 1 saves them. Meteor left alone in a 1v3. That could have been a nail in the coffin of DRG. I don't know how that corner was left uncleared for so long. Especially when the Paranoia was thrown through from that position. But they've righted the wrongs here, at least.
Yeah. I guess it just literally came down to we've killed enough people, there could possibly be another one in the corner. And honestly, for DH, it's a nice try. Like, you look at that with so many players open and you go, maybe you should have got all of them, but to finish this half with the lead that they had just moments ago. A convincing 8-4 on the cards. The DRG, they're coming in with momentum.
Face your fear!
Immediate usage of that Nightfall, an attempted TP, and it has failed miserably. Meteor swinging out of mid is already looking to put this one to bed. Back on the rifles and back to winning ways for T1. Well, that tech pause win rate has just gone down drastically for the side of DRG. They've just been slammed. T1 seemingly quite happy to almost play this retake style setup, as now the attack look to make their move.
Found my wire.
Meteor, he's been a menace through the smokes, but that reveal, it's caught him off. Well played by Nick. The advantage now found and converted into a 2 by Nick. The flash they thought would be the difference maker, but DH gets caught out alone as well. Crumbling under the pressure applied by Nick. We're left into a 1v3 for Buzz. They know where he is, and they're lined up with a firing squad. 7-5 locked in at the halftime, but T1 maintained the lead.
Yeah, no, a very good recovery. Played this map, they had a very dominant defense. We'll see if that can be recreated.
Well, they have to hope so, needing a third map here. T1 already claiming Lotus. But this is T1's pick, one they came in prepared to play. There's no doubt. Aggression early on towards mid. 4 players up close, and it's Spirit Z1, a man who had plenty of opening duels go his way. And although he finds DH, the trade is immediate. And the space, well, they're taking it right towards Ackerman. Good stun, but a player further back, unstunned is Buzz. And he will be unwavering as they move towards this site.
Oh.
Flexen caught down to 20 and completely boxed in. Nowhere to go. And he's wrapped on, but he at least finds one.
Yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. It looked like he was going to get nothing for his troubles. Even still, though, Stax is going to spot out the first. I don't know if they've necessarily seen Nick just yet. Meteor is going for the fight, a little bit individualistic. The swing back wasn't bad, but Demon One's done well. Unaware of where Buzz currently is trying to figure out every single angle. Instead, he's being swung on, and it's Buzz once again. He is having one hell of a game, closing out the pistol as he started it.
Or Ascension will be calling them.
Cutting through.
Both teams having a very tough lower bracket regardless of how results
go.
Hello. Come on. He's playing like his life's on the line, and Spirit Z1's there to back him up. It's a clean round from DRG. The bounce back might continue, or might start here with a flawless.
Yeah, what a response. All right, we've hyped up Buzz all the way through. He still sits atop the pile, but it's the same sort of stuff we saw from him in the first half. Ackerman just taking over that control, fighting tooth and nail with a teammate alongside him and just landing every single shot. But they're going to need a few more of those, still 3 behind.
It's one of those things as well, just the impact of Flexen's paranoia straight down through that laneway. It's so difficult to play against. This time it comes in at a bit of an angle, and it doesn't catch the first player through. Buzz able to follow up as a result. DH and Stacks with their own kills in the A site. It's fallen just like that. DRG trying to repeat the success of the previous round, but they're not quite as all in about it.
This, well, it's not flawless because 2 players are probably going to survive, but it's flawless for the attack who are not losing a player. It's just not a sustainable way to play the game. And because of that, T1 immediately bounced back. And sure, there's enough credits for DRG to buy into the next round, but they need to find something that will consistently work.
Happy that T1 push up to double digits, 4 rounds ahead. Rifles for DRG, but this is one of their last opportunities to fight for this map, to fight for this series. And it will be Buzz and Izu and DH falling at the hands of Spirit Z1. A coin flip that lands in their favor this time.
This is such a ridiculous way to play the game. Literally our entire map is being decided in one corner. A main. That's where everybody lives or everybody dies. And we have now just flip a coin. Let's just get everybody on stage and we'll just flip a coin each round, and whoever gets it on heads is going to be the winner. It is absurd. I love the fact as well that we have spoken about Demon One being in this squad. This is where they now have the information. They've cleared out B, but I think it's going to be too little too late. A TP at least from Spirit Z1. And now he's going to be able to find them that information. He now knows that this is another A hit, but it's not a stack up of players anymore. Rotation is coming in, but they can't take this risk. It's just not worth it. It's down to the spams, but nice work from Flexen. That stack's gone.
Yeah, Flexen making a different name for himself when it comes to A main on Sunset. The spike will be retrieved. However, T1, they're not looking to the site, at least not with 2 of their players. Paranoia being lined up right now, but they don't find the picks and swinging deep. Nick unblinded, able to drop DH. It's picks across the board for DRG. A response from Meteor. This could be the MVP performance. In fact, it might need to be. Buzz by his side. Another for Meteor. Buzz with 1. And it's Izu alone against Demon One in the clutch. 3 rounds between them around DRG need, but Izu won't give it. 11 on the board. T1 a step closer.
Well, at least in the early stages, we're right back to regular programming. Izu's looked to fight towards that A site with a multitude of DRG players ready and waiting. The rest of T1, though, they're going a different way.
Flexen definitely having a better time when it comes to A main. Demon One, though, under heavy pressure, finds 1, but he'll go down eventually. Hunter's Fury clearing out the backside, at least the closer corners. That's going to get the paranoia out of DH with a deep swing. Spirit Z1 falls, but Ackerman's there so quick to trade this back. The advantage stays with the defensive side. The spike trapped on the site. There shouldn't be a way for him to get out of here. The drone feeling Ackerman as Meteor creeps his way ever closer. He's got this wrap around. It's really down to Flexen's timing, and he's not clearing the angle. He's not covering it. But eventually the trade comes through, leaving Stax alone against two.
He's known for his ability to clutch, but they're grouping up, looking to play this together. A wonderful reposition from Flexen. Didn't want to give another isolated fight, so he joins his team.
They'll need to keep ownership over that. Spike towards B this time, and the early pressure on A. Paranoia, primed and ready, not used. Bucky in play for Ackerman, sensing that it's going to be a winker buy and that he can get aggressive with that without too much risk of delivering a big weapon to his opponents. I like that adjustment, especially with the ult in the back pocket. Demon 1 does well to stick around and find one, and look, they can even get a plant here.
Yeah, the only thing is the rifle on Meteor. Looking to get it behind, that's the one for free. Now needs to isolate this duel onto Demon 1. This is going to be important. He wins this, and the round is genuinely on. The Paranoia, though, fantastic. It's going to force them away. Pop flash back, but again, the pressure is all on Meteor at the moment. The rest of the players still yet to claim any weapons. They're trying to give space for him, but he is being spammed out already. Meteor, he somehow manages to find another, puts it down to a 1 versus 1. DH into the clutch, running round. Just trying to get away from an opponent who's running in, and he hits him, but it's not quite enough. Meteor did so much in that round, but luckily DRG will live to tell the tale.
A 4K, I mean, we talked about Buzz when it comes to having the rifle with the weakness, but jeez, that is ridiculous.
Did we need that slow mode?
Look at this, he steps into the wall. They thought that's going to be their fast lane to success, and instead it was very nearly their downfall. The rifles back out on T1, and another close round with weaknesses. It makes me worried.
Oh, faster play being attempted. Izu is going to spot a lot of players out with the shorty, and that's Nick already gone. A fantastic start, which will give them a lot of space. There is still another player here, but they're going to be revealed. Meteor's been getting so many kills that neural theft is already back online.
He's just such a madman, but he needs to deliver more. Meteor and DH down. Here comes the ult out of Spirit Z1. A lot of information to work with. Good stun, though, from Buzz, and he converts the kill. Izu expecting that decoy, but Spirit Z1 delivering in every fight and caught with a flash in hand. Meteor with a 4K in the previous. Spirit Z1 connects the same, and it's double digits now for DRG. Just one buy.
They are fighting for that right now.
I'm out of here.
At least on the other side, it's much more of that direct take again. But there's a couple of players to deal with.
Meteor being one of them. On his way through, DRG lose Demon 1. Lose those traps and all the information. On retake, they've still got a lot to work with. Nightfall, primarily. Nick throws that through, but a TP from DH. He is behind them now. Buying time, perhaps. A thorn in their side, but Flexen quickly eliminates him. Stax grabbing himself good, but he's fallen and Buzz left alone, surrounded and dealt with.
They came in as the number 2 seed for China, but I think many had the expectation that once Demon 1 was added in as a substitute for Vukashu, one of their best players, that this was going to be a different story. Or maybe not just yet. Buzz, though, he still has other ideas. DH as well. Overtime, it's coming, Mitch. We're going to get it for the second map in the row, unless Demon 1 can pull off a 1v5.
Well, he certainly got his moments inscribed in the history books. You think about him standing on the stage, and hell, he might mount that on the table, I say. And he might mount it again if he wins this one. In fact, he'd be very much justified to do so. A steamrolling from T1. We saw throughout that break between the maps just how deflated he was. Losing that first. Having the opportunity to close it out, but you can't put that on him here. They are playing so patient too, and the swing from Buzz to close it, 12-12 with a flawless round, T1.
The Prowler forced him off. That even pulled the rotation of Meteor further into position. And now they look to challenge for mid instead.
One player spotted on the left, but DH is standing patiently, paranoia in hand, waiting for that aggression to come through. Here goes the stun, the paranoia, the big swing. Demon won. He was paranoid, and he managed to find the pick. Nick with another. DRG are not going to let this one slip without a serious fight. And Stacks can't match up to the numbers thrown at him. Izu alone.
No chance.
And he's done once he comes through this smoke. That's 13 for DRG. Another map point for this squad. An Ascend could be on the horizon. They're making this look like a fake, with Buzz making noise early in B main and then just completely pausing, completely freezing. Then the decoy goes up towards A. The player's there, making some noise. That gets the push out of DRG. But it's traded. Meteor's done well, and he was ready for Ackerman as well. 4 versus 3. Now they group and push together, and guess where they push?
That will give them all the information they could ever need, and this lets them know that for now the A site is completely open, although
30 seconds
Flexen is going to push right into it.
It's a great reposition, but the angle's going to be cleared anyways, and Buzz lands the shot. Flash through from Spirit Z1. Oh, but up close, DH can't get the better of him. A 2 versus 1. Demon One's been in so many tough clutches, but this one winnable. But
Who's gonna look?
They're
Who's
both
gonna look?
looking the wrong way, backing into each other. But when he fires his shot, Demon One gives the game away. 13.
The fight that has been going throughout the entirety of this one. Spam's doing quite a lot of damage onto Meteor. Stacks going walkabout. Flexen has made it into mid, but it seems like his opponent is well away. He's managed to get through, though. That's something that T1 desperately have to deal with. They're going to go hunting. Buzz is being sent to try and get rid of this man, but in the meantime, they are fighting. Dealt with one, though, and they've left Meteor to try and defend. He does well until dropped, but it's Buzz instead. A further advantage garnered. Although with him low, and he's on an operator, there's still a good chance here for DRG.
It's the Izu off. They already have the man advantage for T1, but now they can sit and hold an angle. Any peek in that direction is almost an immediate loss. Izu's been pretty consistent with that, but now swaps over to the rifle as push comes to shove, and it's time to get aggressive. And DRG are waiting for this, though. They're looking for the fight, but Izu's the one bringing the heat. 14 to 13 after the timeout. T1 are now facing into map and series point. DRG, they're going to have to dig deep, even just on an emotional level with what they've been through in this game. This could be already over in their favor.
This fight was so integral. Once again, Meteor holding the line, Buzz doing so much work. They both had fantastic maps, and then even just at the end of the round, it's the movement from Buzz. I think he's definitely got one of the best movement on Neon I've ever seen. Like, the amount of bullets it takes even to kill him by that point.
One was ready for this. This must have been discussed by DRG. Now they've got 2 players on the site with a quick rotation from Ackerman. The numbers are here. The defenders have now fallen for the ruse, and they will go ahead in the early fights. Demon 1 and Spirit Z1, they know that DH is here. The TP crosses the trap. Early flank online for DRG with the man advantage. They just need to buy time now. Draw the eye of their opponents. That's a freebie for Flexen. DRG look to stay alive here as Meteor is shut down after 1. DH follows. And T1, they will not be taking this 15 to 13. This isn't map number 1. We're going.
And DRG are not ready just yet to give that one up.
Oh, the shot from Izu. That's Spirit Z1 down, a big part of this aggression, a big part of the opening duels that DRG have been able to win. And the reposition from Izu, it's not getting any better for the attackers. He's now ready with Buzz by his side, a deadly duo indeed, and it's Buzz with the triple! DRG decimated in this round. Only Nick standing, and that doesn't last long. Another chance to close the series out for T1.
Buzz has really been impossible to deal with throughout this match. Once again, DRG are in a position where they have to find a response.
T1 again looking to fake out that presence to the A site, but it's early spotted by DRG. Trap going to catch Buzz, and he'll be put in his place by Spirit Z1 this time. Demon 1 on the line, catches another. And T1, again, they have the chance to close it, but again, it's DRG digging deep on this defensive side. Meteor, he's been the one to pull them out of these bad situations, but he has to go huge here. Even the double isn't enough, but stacks on mid. For Meteor! It's done! 16-14! T1! They've decimated DRG in a close battle, but when it matters,